Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You tried lifting the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid from the dirt prevents you from doing that. You try banging on the lid to unsettle the dirt. Maybe somebody might notice and start digging their way down towards you. You want to get out. You don't know how to get out. You just think you're going to die. In reality, there are people standing by your grave. You just don't know that. You just say, "Oh, please don't let me die." Usually, though, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death when you're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great, listen to this, great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that you might just overdose and take something away that God had given you called life? With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person I just spoke about. Call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise I'll help you take your life back, for your life is gone. Folks, I'm going to talk about autism. Today I'm going to have a special guest call in about an hour from now. His name is Trevor Marsh, and he will be calling in. But in the meantime, let me touch a subject that's really dear to me and probably to millions of other people out there. Autism and the signs. Autism is a developmental disorder affecting the areas of the brain that affect communication and social skills, folks. Usually appearing in the first 3 years of life. Most parents may notice something by the time their child is about 18 months old and seek help by the time their child turns 2. Other children may progress normally through age 2 and then suddenly begin losing language and social skills that had previously developed in their bodies. Here are some signs which you, my friends, need to be aware of. First sign is struggles. A child with autism may struggle in particular areas that seem to come easier naturally to other children. The most affected areas are the communication skills and the social skills. When alone, an autistic child may struggle with pretend play differently than any other child. Number 2 is hypersensitivity. Because sensory input is proceed differently in autistic children, you may notice hypersensitivity in your child to light, sounds, textures, tastes, even smells. Your child might not like certain textures in blankets or in clothing as well, or not only certain vegetables, and maybe only like carrots if they're soft instead of eating them when they're hard, or prefer wearing sunglasses when outside. One mom had behavioral problems with her toddler son until removing all the tags from his shirt. Hypersensitivity, hyposensitivity, sometimes the opposite of hypersensitivity happens, and the autistic child has such low threshold of sensory input that they sometimes put themselves in danger. One kiddo would not wear coats because he didn't realize how cold it was outside, so his parents had to limit outdoor playtime to this particular little tyke. Another family had to rule of parents starting the shower and bath water because their daughter would often burn herself, not even realizing the temperatures of the water and then being turned on too hot. Another struggle is, and another sign I should say, is repetition. This may be internal, such as repeated hand movements, facial expressions, or body movements. Or it may be external, such as needing a very strict routine, folks. One father found his son was almost distressed if breakfast didn't happen before dressing. Another mom found out that her daughter screamed if she hugged her before brushing her teeth instead of after brushing her teeth. Number 5 is object attachment. Many kids have favorite baby dolls or toy cars, but autistic children may require those things when they function and interact with them instead of people. Folks, rather than pretend play of driving or caring for the doll, the autistic child may learn facts about cars or simply want a certain texture associated with the doll's clothing. Number 6 is communication is a sign. Kids with autism may not initiate conversations or maintain eye contact while interacting. In fact, some children Forcing eye contact actually makes it harder for them to understand or process what you are saying. They may also use gestures instead of speaking, misuse pronouns, and often will allow your gaze if you look at a point or point something out. Number 7 is interaction. Autistic children will not interact with others in the same way that their peers might, and even appear withdrawn or physically isolated themselves from other kids around them, or from the stimulation caused by other kids around them. They may interact with people the same way people that they might interact with objects, and not understand concepts such as empathy. They usually prefer to be alone rather than participate in a group activity. Number 8 is fascinations. Autistic kids may have unusual hobbies or even interests and know all the facts or every single detail about the special interest. One 8-year-old was diagnosed with nonverbal because he would not speak and yet could read and write Klingon. A little 4-year-old knew every detail, every kind of train, and entire history of many specific trains. Number 9 is perseveration. Children with autism may often get stuck on a single topic or task. They repeat a single word or a phrase over and over and over, or may even ask the same question repeatedly. They may share the same fascination facts that with you again and again and again. They may struggle with transitions between tasks or highly distressed with changes in routines should you change the routine. And then number 10 is developmental delays. There are several rules of thumb for development milestones. Babies should be babbling and gestures by 12 months old and be able to say single words by 16 months old. By 24 months old, a toddler should be able to initiate 2 phrases without prompting. It's always a red flag when a child suddenly loses skills, whether language, communication, social, or motor skills. The more we learn about autism, folks, the more we are able to treat it. One of the key aspects of treatment is early detection with intensive intervention. Treatment usually includes developing a structured schedule of specific activities at school and at home, often using visual needs to be specific to individual children, addressing their unique symptoms and building on their special strengths. And now, right now, I'd like to have Trevor Marsh join us in this segment. I will be dialing the phone right after this, and we'll get him on the phone, and him and I will talk about autism. Thank you very much. I'll be right back with Trevor Marsh from Philadelphia, direct into your living room.